Okay, let's see. New timeout in time. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna give it a few minutes and then we'll kind of begin. Well, kind of, because, I want to wait for at least some people to kind of come in before I begin. Alrighty. Hmm. Also, if you hear some music in the background, don't mind. That's just my so-called neighbors, I guess. Kind of putting their music. So I hope I don't get copyrighted. I highly doubt it, though. I mean, well, doesn't really matter what kind of music it is. I guess it's just that whatever. So in case you hear that, don't mind it because it's pretty loud. But I mean, like really, really loud. So okay. Of course, this is the little Doc Ock figure my dad got me today for Christmas. Alrighty. I already did a video pretty much showing off the figure too as well, so that's nice. So anyway, how much more time? Alrighty. Alrighty. All right. So I think we could begin. All right. So yeah, originally, so I was debating with myself as to like what kind of video I wanted to kind of make today. So I was like, I kind of want to do a Q&A, but like I also want to talk about the new Godzilla toys as well. So I was a little bit stuck here and there. So, I mean, like information was just flooding like crazy. I mean, my pals and we've been like, getting a whole bunch of like, just a whole bunch of like pictures and leaks, and it's like a lot of stuff to kind of cover. Like I can't really do it all in one video. I mean, I could, but it's like I don't know. I mean, it's like could be a little bit subtle about it, you know what I mean? And plus, you never know when like we're gonna get like even more stuff coming in. So it's like, okay, maybe I could wait just a little bit, So like, I'll discuss like the basic figures. Of course, I'll talk a little bit about that, and I mean, and yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to kind of find an excuse to talk about something Godzilla related anyway. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Godzilla minus one as much as I really want to. And fortunately, I can't. I don't even know if it's playing in theaters where I'm at. I mean, probably, but the problem with like where I live, it's like there's like maybe there used to be maybe like two movie theaters or so. I mean, one shut down in my mall, and then there's another one which is decent, So I'm kind of surprised I haven't checked it out in a while. I can't even remember what was the last movie I saw in there. I'm trying to think. I don't remember if it was wow, I don't remember if it was Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse or if it was Rampage. I don't even remember what movie I saw in there last time, honestly. But I do remember at least in the other mall that I used to, I go to in the movie theater before it shut down. I think the last movie I saw in there was Endgame, but I'm honestly not too sure. And the only reason why I'm bringing all this up to begin with is because, like I say, I want to, talk about something Godzilla related, but honestly, I really can't. I don't know. Can't really wrap my head around it so much. I don't know if it's because I've been a little bit out of the game or so. I don't know, because my old channel used to just pretty much be dedicated just to that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I want to talk about other stuff that I like too. That's not the only thing that I like, but it's like, you get the idea. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I mean, there's always something, you know what I mean? There's always action figures, Bandai and all that, especially the movie Monster series stuff. I mean, that has been booming like crazy for sure. I mean, that's like wow. There's been like so many figures that came out or so. The only reason why I don't really cover too much about them is because most of their newer figures that's been coming out over past like year or so, they've been mostly like Godzilla store exclusive, meaning you would have to. I don't know if it's like from like their website or so. I know that you have to buy from somewhere very specific. Not to mention that those are mostly like more Japanese oriented figures. So most likely, obviously, those are stuff that you got to order online. Not that there's a problem with that, but obviously, depending on who you're getting it from, it could cost you a penny. I mean, to this day, I want to get a Hedora. You know what I mean? So we got one Team Kong fam. Merry Christmas, Josh, and God bless. Thank you very much. Welcome. This is just a kind of little video that I'm doing here. Like I say, I was kind of debating. I don't know if I want to do like a Q&A or maybe talk more about the Godzilla toys and all that. So, feel free, whatever. This is kind of like I'm not used to doing so many live videos though. I mean, the last one I did was pretty cool. I showed off a lot of stuff that I got. A little like room tour, and I'm definitely, of course, I'm going to do one. Before the year ends, because I have a lot of junk, so like why not? You know what I mean? So I was thinking about doing that. So back to what I was saying. Don't get me wrong. Like the movie Monster series, their figures are always cool for sure. Like I've always loved those figures, because they're the way the orientation of them and the way that they look though, they just look really nice, and I like that they try to capture how they look in the films, even if they don't always do it well. I know that Destroyer, I know that he's kind of a little bit of a rough figure, and that for some odd reason he's not as big as he should be. He's like more shorter than Godzilla, but for some odd reason, when Playmates came along, they made their own version, and you know what they did? They made like a semi better version, but it has its own issues too. If you see like a weird light, that's just my phone. I'm going on the good old Wikizilla because I want to show you guys the at least the some of the movie monster stuff, at least, because hey, I might as well cover some of it in this video. You know what I mean? Giant Kong with Beast Glove is amazing. Definitely gonna pick it up. Oh, same here, especially when it's articulated. I still have it right here. Actually, I got the old Giant Kong that came out, when the GVK toy line first launched. And like I said, the thing I noticed about these particular figures, because they don't really move around a lot, I feel like they were trying to match or at least copy like the more like Bandai or Movie Monster esque kind of vibe, where they were like these kind of detailed figures, but like not much articulation. I don't know if that's what they were going for. I know when they did made the 2004 and the 1954 Godzilla figures that were 11 inches, those figures for sure, definitely, they were definitely trying to capture that, Bandai sort of vibe kind of going on, because they're all basically the same toy line, except not really. I mean, obviously the Monsterverse line right now is very different from the, Playmates Toho Classics, Bandai Creations, and, Movie Monster series, that's kind of its own shtick. You know, I mean, we got like a lot of stuff like crazy for sure. I mean, I'm just trying to go through the galleries and all that. I mean, let me see. I like how they're also trying to branch off to and do other stuff. So I know that they've been doing a lot of like, they did like one with Kamen Rider recently, which was pretty nice. I don't know nothing about Kamen Rider, but just to kind of give you an idea, they've done that. Whew. They did do a couple of like reveals for next year, so that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, Boggin. I mean, we're talking like wow, Boggin. I remember when they were. I remember when I was looking through like some of the through like Wikizilla's stuff and all that, and there were discussions like I think back in the '90s or so they wanted to introduce Boggin in the Godzilla movies, but they never did. So just to kind of give you an idea, so I'm gonna have to lower the brightness on this. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea, we all remember that. I did post a little a little pic in my community tab, but that was like a while ago. This is kind of old news, but we can still talk about it, right? And then of course you got Biolante, but in her flower form still. I mean that's cool though. I like that they do that. You know what I mean? It's not always just one thing. You know what I mean? It's like of course you gotta do the other forms. And then of course you got Hedora, but this one is like in his. Which one is this? His land form? I think this is his land form. Landing stage crawling version, whatever they call it. It's a pretty long, complicated name, They made so many Hedoras. Literally, they got so carried away with making so many of them. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not, I wish I could get a whole bunch of those Hedoras, but I they're expensive, man. Just to get one, I think it was like 40 something last time I saw it, and I was like, damn, I really, really want to get it. And of course, they made a darker version of the Kiryu, which all right, that's cool if you like Mechagodzilla like that. You know what I mean? I don't mind it. I mean, I love getting stuff like this. I love these kind of figures. Because I mean, it's not that they try to be creative with them, but it's just unfortunate that they're really expensive. But then again, we gotta remember at the end of the day, these are toys that are technically, they're from Japan, so and they're probably cheaper over there too. That's probably the sad part, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that because weirder things has happened. You know what I mean? I mean, ever since the pandemic, it's been like super hard just to buy like one Ultraman figure and stuff like that. I was lucky enough to get a whole bunch of them, but that was only because I went on a trip to New York and I went to Toy Tokyo where I bought so many of them. I think the guy at the register was literally mad at me. He was not happy at all. And I was like, you're making bank though. Come on. All right, let me read more of your. The Godzilla X Kong new Empire figures are hitting Walmart on January 1st. Is that the street date? Because let me tell you that I mean that's what I'm kind of questioning the most too, is that with the leaks going around online and we already see the toys being stocked up on shelves, and I'm like, what's going on? So the only thing I could think of, and I was actually talking to somebody else about this too, what if two things. Either these are getting released, like not in the U.S. so far. Maybe other places have gone to them first, which is a possibility because have seen that before, especially with GVK. They definitely did that before with that toy line as well. Or they could be like in California because for some odd reason, and I noticed this in a lot of people's toy hunts, if they live in California. It's like for some odd reason, every new thing that comes out, they always get it first. I've noticed that, and I'm over here thinking, damn, I wish I lived in California, but at the same time, nah, I think I'm okay where I'm at. I mean, you never know. I don't know. I mean, it's just that it's not like a dumb fear or anything, but it's like it's over there. You don't know how it's and in the whole earthquake situations. Those are common fears, obviously. I know that that's dumb because you can easily get earthquakes even in the other side of the state too, but you get the idea. So long story short, yeah, I don't live in California, but I'm still not going to tell you guys where I live either because, then that will be going a little bit too far and, just saying, just to be on the safe side, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so the thing is, though, a lot of these toys are coming out. I'm like, wow. And we're talking like the basic figures, the giant figures, the Battle Roar. They're making 2-packs now, which that's pretty neat, And I like that they at least look kind of unique, At least they're not like just there just to be there. Someone said they found them in Las Vegas, and the Walmart worker said they are out on January 1st. So that's another thing I want to question too. So I feel like my theory might be right. But if they're saying that it's coming out on January 1st, that here's what I want to know. I need did the guy actually end up buying the figures, or could he not buy it because they're out on January 1st? Because sometimes stores they do that. I've seen that so many times where there's action figures are not supposed to be out. That's been like a new thing, by the way. That makes me so upset. I've seen that so many times already, and it's not even funny. I'm only smiling because I had a nice Christmas today, and plus at least I'm having a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? But still, I mean, it's like I'm trying to think. Was it? Yeah, it was this year, right? I did a toy hunt where I was looking for some Marvel Legends and stuff, and I found Drax, and then it turned out it was actually street dated. So when I actually went back to Target on the day to actually buy the figure, it wasn't there. So I was like, oh, So it's like I mean, yeah, I'd call it quits. Obviously, what am I supposed to do? Harass an employee? And then they already got enough crap as it is. Let's not make the tension more worse. All right, Plus, I know what that's like to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And I remember it did happen to me again too. In one of my toy hunts, I found the Kingpin from the a Hydra Stomper build figure wave, and an hour street data that wasn't even supposed to be out. Although to be fair, I think I found that figure in like one of the in the carts from Target. So that was probably like a go back of some sort. I'm not too sure. Can't think what else. Was it this year? I think it was. Let me think. Falcon from G.I. Joe Classifieds. Yeah, I remember. I found him at a GameStop, and then he ended up being street dated too. He was supposed to be out. That's like a running trend, and it happened to me not too long ago, even before Christmas, like a couple of weeks ago, during the beginning of December. I found Chuck or Nunchuck. I forgot his name. He's another G.I. Joe character. He's a ninja basically. He looks so cool. Honestly, he looks so nice the way he is. He actually became one of the inspirations for one of my drawings. So that tells you something. I wanted to buy him. Camp. He was street dated. He wasn't out till December 20th. And I was like, that's weird. Because G.I. Joe, their toy line, as great as it is, their numbers make like absolutely no sense because the figures they go by numbers. So they go by like number this and that. So like for an example, Roadblock, he's figure number 1. I think Snake Eyes, I think he's figure number 2. It's either that or Duke. I'm not too sure. You know, even the figures that I got today, it was like number, what was it, 42? Let me see if I can see it from far away. I think it was like, you know what, let me just bring it to you. What am I doing? Let me see here. Okay, no, I was off. It was 47, but close enough, right? So this is the one that I'm talking about here. I got this today, so this is pretty nice, right? I don't know if you guys can see it because the lighting on my computer, it's not really all that gray, so that's why, trying to see if maybe my phone might help a little bit, but you get the idea. So it's like their numbers, they don't really go like in a certain order. They kind of just come out whenever they want, you know what I mean? So I think, I'm trying to think, like, what was it? Was it the Desert Commando Snake Eyes? It's like he's number 92, right? So he came out like a month ago or two, like a while ago, right? And then you get like Nunchuck, who's coming out now, and he's like number 80 something, and I'm like, hold up, you know what I mean? So the Hasbro's been doing that weird thing with them. Listen, they're great figures. That's all that matters to me, but I'm just saying. They got Shimu and Scar King. I know. The Shimu, we need to talk about Shimu. I don't know when. Or Shimo. I don't know. I'm afraid that if the movie comes out, they're going to pronounce his name like something completely different, like Xiaomu or something like that. He looks interesting for sure. I mean, it's like, to me personally, I feel like he has to be like another Godzilla or something, or some other reptilian type creature. You know what I mean? Because it's so weird. Oh man, I mean honestly, it's nuts. I like how if you buy just the one by himself, he's just all completely white and stuff like that. But if you buy the 2-pack with him and Evolved Godzilla, I've noticed the paint, it's like slightly different. You can see more of the details and stuff like that. So that's gonna be great. Someone listing them on eBay as well. And that's where things starts to go downhill pretty fast, because that was a huge issue with GVK. Oh dear God, I really hope that does not happen again. That was a complete nightmare. I still don't have all the figures. I actually don't. I think I don't know if I mentioned it. The ones that I'm missing is Giant Heat Ray Godzilla, Giant Mecha Godzilla, and then King Ghidorah. But King Ghidorah, he came out like during the Monsterverse wave, so he came out like, I want to say a year ago or so. I did made a video talking about it, but it was like one of my more older videos when I started this channel specifically. So it's like a video that's maybe been out for like a year or so now. I'm not sure. I think I made that video before or after I got 400 subscribers on this channel, but I'm not too sure. If you guys want to take a look at it, you don't have to. I'm not forcing anyone, because I do keep a whole playlist of where I have my conversations talking about toys and stuff and other shit. So, I do have an entire playlist. It's just called Joshy's Talk Videos. So I kind of give you a hint there. Which GVK figure for which figure for GXK are you most excited about? That's a good one. I mean, I'm stuck in between. I don't know. They got a lot of really good ones. I mean, I want to say Evolved Godzilla only because I like the way that his design, like his structure, you could kind of tell he's changed. So it's like, I like that a lot, but the pictures, they're a little too blurry for me to really analyze the whole thing. I really want to see him in person. So for the most part, I want to say definitely, oh my goodness. But the Kong with the beast arm, that I like that one a lot. That's interesting. And I also like how he looks different. He looks a lot more, it's new sculpt, obviously. I'm not sure if I could say the same for the Heat Ray Godzilla. That's such a tricky one because they're making a new Heat Ray Godzilla figure, which is odd because we already have one. So this one is probably like an updated version because even the Heat Blast effect piece is different. So I'm like, okay. But I forgot where I saw it. But then I saw in another one, I think it was like a toy hunt or so. Somebody had bought the new Heat Ray Godzilla, but it's completely different from the one that we saw. I can't really find it exactly. I only have like maybe one of the pictures. I don't even know where this picture originated from. I want to say maybe Standard Brick, but I'm not too sure. These leaks have been provided from like everywhere, so it's like it's gonna be so hard to give credit. So I do apologize. So this is the one that I'm talking about, right? So that's the newer version, right, with the brand new heat piece and all that. So the sculpting is probably gonna be the same like the previous figures, which is fine. The tail might be a little different. I think so because the other ones, the tails were always just kind of flat with maybe a little bit of that curve at the end of the tip. But this one just looks like it's all curled and all that. So it's like, okay, a new tail, that's cool. And the dorsal fins and all. But I saw a picture of someone and I cannot find the picture. They bought the Heat Ray Godzilla, but it looked pretty much like the ones that we already had before, but with different paint. And the Heat Blast, the Heat Ray, it's different. It's the one that they used to use. Although, and it still keeps the battle damage too. They still have that. So I don't think I can really find it if I'm being honest. I mean, my trick, I just go on the good old Google and I just put latest. That's what I usually do. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. But of course, those are not the only figures too. Where there's also I mean there's Suho with Titanus Doug. The fact that those weird little lizard creatures have a name that's just hilarious, man. I think they were in Godzilla versus Kong. I'm not too sure. That was when Kong he first entered the Hollow Earth, and then we see like those kind of weird dinosaur-like creatures running. I don't know. It's hard to really say. Just trying to look around. I don't want to do this for too long, only because I don't want the rest of the video to just be me on my phone. That kind of defeats the purpose of like a live video. I want to at least chat with you guys, see what you guys think of what's going on and stuff like that. I'm most excited for the giant Kong and the 6-inch one. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it looks like I'm very curious to like what's the story behind it. You know what I mean? So that's the giant Kong, basically. And like I say, it's articulated, so that's nice. The details, it's spot on, so it looks really nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's hard for me to really find the other one, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. I love how in the 2-pack, I love how Kong is like slightly painted differently. He got like some weird kind of like red, like hot type of stuff going on his chest. That looks cool. I don't know why I like that so much. Scar King looks cool too. But the thing with Scar King, it's like his only accessory is like that thing that he has. But he can actually use that as a weapon. So that's cool. So that means it's removable. Although I guess to an extent that's kind of a spoiler, but then again, I don't know. Oh, look at that. Oh wow, but this is on Reddit. Titanus Doug appreciation post. Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, so I was right. So he was in GVK. Okay, that's cool. The 6-inch ones will be $10 each. I hope the giant ones are not too expensive. From what I can remember, but the thing is, with inflation and stuff like that, I can't promise that this is a guarantee. So yes, the figures were originally around like the $994, $999 price range. As for the MonsterVerse figures, I'm honestly not too sure. I don't remember if they did went up $1. Maybe if I go back and look at one of my old toy hunts, I might be able to find out, but I'm honestly not too sure. I mean, I always say, like to, please avoid my older videos, but then again, that would defeat the purpose of me introducing new people because I want more people to watch my channel, but you get the idea. So let me see. I could try and find out, but I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, I remember the. Okay, I'm trying to think. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna check right here. Oh, okay. So I don't think I'll be able to find out through here. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I didn't. No. So I was looking at one of my no because no. Okay. I don't think I care. I think I just took it and grabbed it. That's all I did. But the giant ones, yeah, I'm pretty sure the giant ones were like $20 or so when they came out. But like I say, I don't know if they're gonna go up higher because of inflation. I have no idea. I mean, I was surprised about the Ninja Turtles. Like those figures, they didn't had any price hikes at all. Their basic figures still costed around $9.99 or so, with the exception of their classic figures, which were like 11 something for sure. Those were like a dollar up or so. I don't think those were. So for some odd reason, they got the inflation treatment, but not the Team Anti Mutant Mayhem one. So that's interesting. All right, but whatever. It is what it is. It's not. I know it hurts to pay an extra penny. Okay, I get that. That's why I always try my best to kind of like utilize any sort of deals or kind of coupons and stuff like that. And I don't like to be that type of person. I really don't. I'm not really the type of person to really rely on coupons like that. To me, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's an act of desperation or anything like that, but I feel like if I'm always on top of like trying to use those and stuff like that, it just makes it more like harder and difficult to shop because then you always want to try and get the latest deals. So it's like no. I'm more simple and basic like that. If I get one, I get one. If I don't get one, whatever. I'm not, that's not gonna hurt my feelings. I had the Target Circle app. I use that to my advantage. I do have the GameStop membership, so that does work from time to time. And Walmart, no, nothing from Walmart. No, I don't even want to give those people my money, but But then again, you guys saw the toy hunt, right? The one where I found the Spider-Man figures. Yeah. What do you think of the giant Scar King? He looks great. Like I want him already. I mean, he looks really nice. I'm just surprised that they're articulated because it's like you imagine all the cool stuff that you could do with them now. I mean, don't get me wrong, the smaller figures they're not bad either. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I would definitely get that for sure. But you know what I want to talk about the most? Can we please talk about that weird evolution? Let me see. Not the Godzilla Evolve. No, not that one. Let me see if I could find the name of it. Me and my oh my god! When I first saw it, I was like, "What?" I want to find the name for it first before we talk about it. Let me see, and then come on, Wi-Fi. Okay, let me see. Let me see. It was called. Okay, I'm getting there. Please, hold on. Titan Evolution. That's what it was called. This Godzilla toy, you can literally like rip his skin. Like I'm like, what? And it's not what you think. I'm gonna make a separate video talking about that for sure because I was like, wait a minute. I thought we were done making toys like that a long time ago. I mean, I find it funny because it's like it feels like such a weird retro thing. The only other toys I can really think of that did that was like back when the X-Men movies were really popular in the early 2000s. I know. I think they did one with Mystique where she could pretend that she's Wolverine, but like it's not even like you don't swap parts or anything. It's literally like a weird kind of like rubber thing that you have to like put on her, and it's the most like uncomfortable thing possible. It's funny because it's like it's kind of a crap kids toy for that. I mean, don't get me wrong. This Godzilla one looked interesting for sure. So. Yeah, I mean, okay, I can't zoom it in because it's on Instagram, but you get the idea. So it looks like this. That's the one in question. Like it looks all rubbery and stuff. And there's even a video on Luminous's channel. And it demonstrates it's supposed to be like Godzilla evolving. You can like take off like his skin, I guess. I don't know. You can literally like take it all off to reveal like his true form, and it's like, oh, okay. Doesn't that kind of mean that Playmates acknowledged that he lost a little bit of weight over the years evolving? I was even talking about it too. I was like, are they is he going to is he going to have like the body of like the 1998 Godzilla at some point? Cuz I feel like that's where it's going. I mean, I don't. It doesn't bother me only because we've seen the trailer. He looks great, so I don't know what the deal is. You get people complaining that how he runs and that he's not supposed to run, and I'm like, well, like, you know, do you want him to be slow though? Kong is a pretty fast character. He's very agile, so I think it makes sense that if Godzilla is going to evolve, he can't just have power. He needs to have some sort of athleticism to him as well. I'm just saying it can't be all one sided like that. So the fact that he runs doesn't bother me. Also, if you're gonna complain that Godzilla can run, well, let me say this: you've probably never seen Godzilla versus Megalon. I'm just gonna say that right now. I wish I could find clips, but there isn't. But he runs in that, and it's the most funniest shit ever. That just it honestly makes me convinced that Godzilla vs Megalon is kind of a comedy in a little bit in a weird way, but even though it's probably not, but you get the idea. It's such a weird movie. That's the one where we meet Jet Jaguar for the first time, in case anyone's wondering. He fights like a giant beetle cockroach creature with giant drillers for arms, and then out of nowhere he calls for Gigan for backup, and I was like, oh, let's make things interesting. Let's bring back the giant chicken. I mean, he's been established to be like some sort of bionic dinosaur or whatever, but I don't know. To me, he's like a giant kaiju chicken. I'm just saying. And I dropped the cap from my pen. There it is. Yeah, I cannot drop that now because my pens are starting to dry up, so I don't want that. And I draw. That's what I like to do, and I would like to turn it into some sort of career. I want to make my own comics. I got my own characters and stuff like that, but you know let me graduate from college first, and then we'll see where that goes. Because I know most places they kind of do require a degree for that. What kind of degree? I'm not sure. From what I've been told from my advisors, as long as you have a degree of some sort, even if it's an art or not, you can still make a career out of at least your using your art. But how you really use it, it's up to me. Basically, what that means is depending on the places I go to, who knows what will happen. So that's the future. I don't want to think too much about that. Let's focus on now a little bit. I guess it's ironic I'm mentioning that because I mentioned the thing with G.I. Joe, with like Nunchuck being like one of my kind of inspiration for some of my characters and stuff like that, because of the way he looks, he's a ninja, but like still, I mean, the stories, the stuff that I've created, it does center around ninjas and samurais, but not 100%. It's not like a ninja versus ninja or samurai versus samurai type thing. No. They do fight other ninjas and samurais, but it's more like fighting other weird bad guys and stuff like that type of ordeal. It's kind of like that type of story. Maybe one day, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll talk about my drawings and stuff on this channel, but I want to wait a little bit longer until my channel starts to grow maybe a little bit more. Because at right now, as of now, I don't think it's ready for that. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. Oh man. Imagine if they did a Titan evolution with Kong. Okay, that'd be terrifying. Okay, that at that point you're like, slow down, because that I don't really see that happening because it makes sense for a reptilian, not less of a giant monkey or a gorilla per se. That'd be pretty funny if they did that, but I know that's not really gonna happen. Oh man. Shimu. Can't stop thinking about Shimu. He's ginormous. Oh, he's huge. That's the funny thing too. It's like these figures, they're size accurate, except for King Ghidorah, because obviously he had like giant, he has giant wings and stuff like that. It gets in the way. I know some people were complaining, but it's still a nice figure. I say that all the time in my toy reviews, especially the Ultraman ones. I don't care if the size is bad, as long as the figure itself is like 100%, you know what I mean? And it's not like you feel like that the toy's from another toy line, you know what I mean? I don't think the Battle War figures are hitting stores yet. Yeah, true. They'll probably release them little by little. Probably. I don't think they'll release all of it at once. I'd be pretty surprised if they do, because now that's going to be a bit overwhelming. Even when it comes to the Team NT figure, they didn't release all their figures right away, obviously. And obviously, we're still getting more toys coming in from the Team NT toy line. The only problem is that we don't really know exactly when, because there's also supposed to be a new TV show coming out next year for Paramount Plus. But the thing is that those particular toys Playmates didn't want to show them off yet, so we'll kind of see how that goes when we get there, because I like Ninja Turtles too, don't get me wrong. I got into those like when the 2012 series came out, so and I was surprised with like how much I actually enjoyed the series. So I was like, all right, I see your Mega Punching Kong figure in the back. Yeah. Wow, but you got a good eye. I'm surprised you can even see that because the video doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great either, the quality. Yeah, he's in the background because he doesn't fit on my shelf. Neither does the 12-inch figures. I was lucky enough to get at least... Okay, yeah, so I got the giant Godzilla up there on the shelf. I mean, that's the only bad thing about having a collection. At one point, you are going to run out of room. So when it comes to that point, I don't know. I don't want to just stop collecting either because that sucks. That's like because then you start to feel a little bit miserable. Yeah, you save money in the process, but then it's like I don't know. I've always been kind of 50-50 about that. I'm the type of person that likes to save money a lot all the time. You know what I mean? Like I will never go anywhere without money. You can't. Especially in today's world, you cannot go anywhere without money for sure. And you never know for like an emergency because most of the time whenever I do have a lot of money, things happen. So that's where, you always got to be prepared. But you can still save some money to buy yourself some toys once in a while too. I'm just saying that's your retail therapy for you. That's a great figure. I don't think we will get a mega figures from GXK. Probably not. I mean, I'd be surprised if they do, but I don't think so. Only because obviously the giant figures are articulated now. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. They probably feel like that the customer base would be satisfied with that. But don't take my word for it. You never know. This company is nuts. They come up with stuff when you least expect it. Oh my god, I'm getting too excited. I gotta be careful. You get the idea though. Also, don't mind me. I just got a little bit comfortable. Oh yeah. That music is driving me nuts too. Cause like I like maybe I hope you guys can't hear it because the music is like super loud. But it's like okay, I get it. It's Christmas, so let's not get like that. You know what I mean? So far for the most part, that's kind of my plan for this week is to talk mostly about the Godzilla stuff. I feel bad about the toy reviews though. I still want to do more of those. I guess I'm kind of saving that more towards next year. So that way we can really get all riled up and stuff like that. We can actually start to kind of push them out without any delays because originally I wanted to do every Wednesday a toy review and all that. And we were doing super good until I stopped because, I had a bit of an emergency and all that. But everything is good now. Life is great. So I can't complain right now, might feel tired once in a while, but everybody gets like that. Do you think Kong will get powers in the film? Honestly, I mean, judging by that Beast Glove, I don't know. It's like the thing with the Beast Glove. That's the other thing too. Where's his axe? Because we saw that he had the axe, and then out of nowhere he doesn't have it now. So I wonder if that glove. I wonder if the people built it or if it's like some sort of ancient artifact. You know what I mean? Because you get like those weird people that are like underground and stuff like that in the trailer. That's the thing. The whole comparison with like Godzilla Megalon, it's surprisingly similar because in Godzilla vs. Megalon, there was like those weird ancient people that lived underground and stuff like that. And I'm kind of wondering, are they going to do the same thing in here? Are all those people that we see, are they from there? Or are they just people that just discovered another piece of land in the Hollow Earth or something? You know what I mean? I mean, if Scar King can have an entire army of just like other Kongs and stuff like that, I mean, that's nuts. You know what I mean? That reminds me. I wonder if we'll get figures of that. That'd be interesting. Just an army of those guys, army builders. I mean, I'm open for it. I think that's cool. I'm just thinking about my GI Joe collection because I'm looking straight at it and I'm looking at all my bad guys and I'm like, wow, because GI Joe is like the ultimate, like army builder. So it's like okay, Marvel Legends, I love Marvel Legends, but admittedly, their army building it's a little bit weak. It's like there isn't really like you got like okay Hydra and maybe some of the Shield agents and all that. What happened is that whenever Hasbro always make those particular army builders, they don't really do them all the time like GI Joe. They only just kind of put them out once in the blue moon, and then to make things even worse, they'll do like Hasbro Pulse exclusive with like the AIM agents or the scrolls, and I'm like, I kind of wish they didn't do that, but you know, you never know. I don't got nothing against army building. It could be a little bit of an issue because it's like in my mind, I'm like, nah, I kind of want like more, you know, because it's like, especially when they got all the different weapons and guns like that. I think that that's cool, you know. So I'm just saying, that's just I don't know, that's just me, I guess, you know. I mean, I already said it. I view this stuff like art, so you know, that's kind of my excuse for all this in a way, you know. So yeah. I think that's about it for sure. I don't really have anything else I can really say or add on. You know, I thought I'd just kind of do like a nice little video today because, you know, it's Christmas, you know, and plus I didn't know if I wanted to do a Godzilla related video. And, I wanted to do, of course, something special where I showed off like, what I got for Christmas and all that. And for the record, I was playing around with this. That's what you saw earlier before. Oh shoot, one of the claws actually came out. Oh, might need to look for that. All right. Luckily my door's closed. Otherwise, And for the record, yeah, I was right. So this figure did came out during Spider-Man 3. So okay. And this is all he came with for the most part. So surprise, surprise, I might actually be able to do a review with this, but we'll see. So until then, I guess that's about it. I think I could kind of end the video here. So it looks like everyone's went home. So I'm gonna kind of call it quits. I gotta find that piece now. That thing could be anywhere. I mean, it's not as worse as a GI Joe figure with their ammunition cases, but you get the idea. So I'll wait like a couple minutes and then I'm gonna end the video. Alrighty. So any other questions? Anything else? I mean, that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the night. I'm gonna be looking for that other piece because that's pretty bad. I didn't think it would come off either. That's weird. What a weird toy because the action feature. He grabs stuff. Nice. You know what I mean? But it's a really good looking figure though. That's the part. I mean, you can easily put this with like your older Toy Biz Spider-Man figures too. I've thought about that. It looks nice though. Nice. Alrighty. So okay, I think that's about it. So I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. Thank you guys for at least tuning in. I hope everybody had a nice Christmas. I sure did. And I'll of course obviously I'll do a video tomorrow discussing more GXK and all that, all the toys, all the news coverage. And toy hunts, I'll discuss a little bit more about what's going to happen with those. So until then, hope you guys, stay safe out there as always, keep it easy, and that's about it. So see ya.